Okay, very good afternoon. It's Vikram Sareen, Chief Architect with Mula Technologies. We are quickly going to go through the four portals that are offered by Service Guard. So we essentially call them Service Guard interactions, which is where it is interacting with the outside elements and parties. So sorry, quickly get into this. So essentially Service Guard exposes four different portals. So the first portal is for the partners. So these are basically the developer community or the partners who are actually using the transformed or secured services through Service Guard. So over there they can actually do literally everything from testing the APIs to refreshing their security keys, downloading their certificate, pulling their invoice, or paying their bills, checking the performance of the services. So everything which is under the umbrella offered by Service Guard for the partners or developers is provided in Partner Portal. The second one is a Partner Administration Portal. So essentially this is the portal which is dedicated for generating, not I would say generating, it's mostly managing the partners. So meaning, let's say if you want to suspend one of the partners or want to do a KYC check on them, or you want to look at the performance that they're going through or the services that are exposed to them. So this is the partner which also has, I'll be covering a little bit more in detail in these few slides. So that's mostly for the administration of the partners. Then the third is the settlement portal. And now this is essentially for the resource owners or the service providers that will actually be doing a revenue sharing model with Service Guard. So once you have Service Guard deployed, so let's say if you're working with an email company or a marketing company and they've exposed some APIs, then there is a certain level of revenue sharing that will be part of a basic understanding of the business. So what revenue gets generated will be settled between the various parties. So that's what comes under settlement portal. Then last is the Service Guard Administration Portal. This is basically the core of the whole system. In this you have everything. So from operators, groups, partners, resources, billing, security, keys, certificate, everything which is under the umbrella is actually managed under this Service Guard core portal or the administration portal. So let me very quickly go through each one of them. So the partner portal, as you could see over there, that it's actually exposed and it's giving out to the partners. And over here we have the exposed APIs which will be given out, the API authentication and the certificate for security, invoicing and billing, sandbox dashboard, graphical reports, archive reports, team. So a partner, if they want to have more than one individual who's part of the team, and they want to access the same dashboard, they can do that. Then key management at the API level. So we are not just saying that one key will be used for all the APIs. You can actually have a very granular or very micro control where each API will have a different key. So that level of control is given by Service Guard. And then second, factor authentication and image authentication for added access security. Why? Because firstly, it's the security of the services and the information, and secondly, it also gives the confidence to the partners that whatever they are doing or whatever their account is, which is linked with the billing part, is well secured. So said that, going to the next one, which is the partner administration portal. So in this, firstly, we have two sets of roles. One is maker and checker. So maker, vets the information, which is basically for the partners and what they are doing, in terms of the registration or cancellation, things like that, or billing. And then on the other hand is the checker or the authorizer, who's actually going to say yes whether the information which is being filled in or being vetted by the maker is valid or not. So over there we have KYC based credential validation. Then in the partner portal, partner administration, we also have package management. So this is to do with billing, where the different resources or transformed resources are actually put into a package and they can be billed together. So we'll look into this in more detail when we do actually the training sessions in the subsequent videos. Then we have the package management in terms of any changes and authorization which we give. Plus we have some graphical reports and archive reports. Again, we have strong authentication for this. And as a partner, as a maker checker, you can also see what are the exposed access points that are being given out to the partners. So as an administration, quite a bit of things that can be done. Mostly the whole intention is that it should be a fully automated system where a partner can sign up digitally, and using the maker, checker and KYC, we have the right onboarding of the partner, and then from there we can actually look at their life cycle as they move along. So that's the second portal, which is partner administration portal. Now going to the third one, settlement portal. So settlement, as we talked about it, it's basically the revenue sharing aspect, which is between the service owner and the system owner. That means the service guard owner. So over there, you have the partner, the owner profile management. Then you have the resources. So let's say if there's a partner, if there's a owner who's offering more than one resources, so they'll be listed over there, and you can actually check out the uses of that. Then in the next one you will have the revenue generation, which means that what APIs or what resource of mine has what's the usage of that, and against that what's the actual bill that is being raised, and what is the revenue that we have generated from there. And then you can also generate a custom report for a monthly revenue generation in terms of the graphs, as well as in terms of downloadable option, which can be actually settled with the service card owner in the later time. So settlement portal also gives a real-time complete picture to the owners with regards to the services, or with regards to the resources they are giving it out to the service card system. Yeah. And now the last one, which is basically the core of everything, which is where we have the resource management. Then resources could be like WSDLs, VADLs, ISO 8583, GMS, all these different forms of resources, database and things like that, which are basically need to be protected and transformed and controlled their visibility with. Second are the transformed, what we call it as access points, which are basically the secured or transformed or controlled WSDLs and VADLs that are given out. Then obviously the whole key attributes of service card, which is transformation, enrichment, security, visibility, enforcement on each access point. Then the keys and the certificate management. Key and certificate management is inbuilt part to service card, which also eliminates the need for you to have a separate key store or separate or auth v2 kind of dependency. Service guard is a fully functional and independent system. It does not need you to have JAS, or it does not need you to have WebLogic or JBoss and their WS security being imported. So that's one of the key features which stands out with service guard. Then API documentation, as well as the API billing. Which API should be at build. So there's a global setting, as well as there is a API level setting, and also the relevant documentation for each API. So you can actually say what's the input, what's the output, as well as what's the error codes and things like that. You can also define it in the API documentation part. Then we also have version control, where you can actually release multiple versions of the same resource to the partners and for the billing, which actually gives you much more flexible way of handling the system or handling the transform resources. And the same can be exposed to the partners through the partner portal, which they can use. Then the resource monitoring. So we actually monitor whether the resource is up or down. Now this essentially makes sure that the resource owners can be informed if there is something slow or their resource is not available. And then last, which is administration in terms of grouping the operators, or in terms of clustering. Let's say if you deploy more than one service card worker, then this particular aspect comes in, and also the monitoring in general of the whole system. So this is a very quick video on the service guards interaction. So partners administration, settlement, and service guard administration portal. So all these things are covered under what we call it as our interaction. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue posting more videos with regards to service guard.